Hello, everyone. Bear with me as I get through this. I did just test positive yesterday for COVID, and so I'm pretty congested and I have a lot going on kind of in there. I do not want to get behind, so I'm going to go ahead and push through and really just kind of go ahead and dive right into this week's topic, which is really exploring other areas of diversity. So other areas of diversity that one may encounter in rural communities outside of racial, ethnic, gender, and sexual orientation terms is going to be age and religious identities. So when it comes to age diversity in rural areas, one could see an array of age groups. So this could range from families with young children to elderly folks that are retired or near retirement age. However, our book discusses that oftentimes young adults leave rural areas for better work opportunities found in more urban areas. Granted, some do choose to stick around and build a life where they are at, which is why we see young children still in those small communities. So like any of the different diversity topics, age can be a big factor in how one is treated. And as previously discussed in other classes, ageism is a thing that can affect anyone. It is basically where one discriminates against a person based on their age. This is typically going to be seen with the elderly who are not always given equality in the workspace. So I personally would like to choose to focus on the senior citizens in rural areas and different policies that may affect them. So some of the issues elderly people face in rural areas are mentioned on page 99 by Daly, and they include movement of family from rural communities, so meaning they have less familial support around to help them. Health issues, so they might have issues like diabetes and so on, with little health care really being provided to them. Remoteness, meaning they have trouble getting to places to kind of meet their needs that they're looking for, that need to be met. And even their living conditions, which could be poor living conditions or limited protection from natural events. So whether the roads are bad and they're not able to get where they need to go, or their house is more run down or infested with mice is a big issue in rural areas, things like that. So policies that could further hinder this community may include a policy that limits or adds extra qualifications to Medicare and Medicaid, reducing one's chance at obtaining health care. Another policy that could hinder this community would be one that raises property taxes. This could be extremely detrimental, as our book discusses the loss in income one receives with age. So, another form of diversity one may encounter in rural areas is going to be religious identity. Daly discusses this diversity and how one may be surprised by the various religious beliefs found in small towns. Daly states on page 75, for example, the predominant religion in many rural communities is Christianity, particularly Protestantism, although several different religious groups may be represented. However, what one tends to fail to see is the diversity even found in Protestantism. So I actually went to a school in a very small town where my graduating class was only like 65-ish people. And in my own friend group, we were all Protestant Christians, but each one of us kind of came from a different branch of it, which gave us all of our differences in doctrines and the things we believe. So I personally came from a more charismatic background. I had friends that were Methodist, Baptist, Nazarene, and the list kind of goes on. So these different differences actually shape the way one may view you, especially in a small town. Depending on what denomination you're from, you might be viewed in a certain light. Now, when it comes to policies affecting this area of diversity, there are many different policies that can create strain on this community. So Daly actually states on page 125 that when the economy slumps, traditional sources of help, including family, church, and charitable agencies, may also feel the pinch and be overwhelmed in times of great need. This means that any social welfare policies can greatly affect the church, as they may struggle to pick up the slack from our government. Whether that's a cutback in food stamps, and so they're supplying more to the food banks and things like that, or maybe they'll bring in a local doctor to help who's willing to volunteer if Medicaid or Medicare gets cut back, things like that. Wherever they kind of see the hurt, the church might step in, and this can really cause strain on the church if they're picking up a lot of slack. So that is all. Thank you so much.